The South End of Burlington is a neighborhood in a constant state of change. From 1785, when settlers came and established a logging community, to the late 20th century when it became heavily industrialized, the South End is now evolving into yet a new phase. With new businesses and entertainment spots, the South End is becoming a vital and prosperous part of Burlington.
Well, I could say that coming to the South End in 1986, the South End was a very different place than it is today.
When Burlington Furniture launched 30 years ago, the South End of Pine Street was not a place people went to shop. Owner Mark Binkhorst says, at first, the big attraction on Pine Street was cheap real estate.
I think the reason why so many people were attracted to the South End was that this area offered low rent, and artists and entrepreneurs looking to start their businesses or sustain an art studio required low rent. So we were all here for the same reason, and having that kind of energy where symbiotic relationship between businesses and artists together just created a fertile place for our businesses to grow and prosper.
During the next 30 years, Burlington Furniture doubled in size. It was no longer enough to be hidden behind the bricks of an old building.
We maybe in some respects outgrew our old location on Pine Street as we needed a more substantive building, one that had more street presence, more street credibility, greater square footage. We were lucky to be able to move right down the block and stay in this dynamic neighborhood. Our business grew organically over the last 32 years, and we were able to grow within our existing incubator stage building because there was available spaces. But as businesses grow, sometimes they just reach the confines of the outer walls of a building, and that's essentially what happened with us down the block at 388 Pine Street. As far as moving to the South End, it's a dynamic environment where a lot is happening. It is the place to be. This is the hottest real estate in the Burlington area right now. Good luck finding space because there's a lot of demand.
For some merchants, these changes have meant opportunity. They now see this part of the South End as more lively and fun. Danielle Patterson is the marketing manager of Arts Riot, a restaurant and music venue on Pine Street since 2009. Patterson says Arts Riot had a big impact because it brought food and nightly entertainment to the neighborhood.
Part of Arts Riot's success is we brought something late night here. We brought something after people get out of work that didn't exist before. Aside from New World Tortilla and a few other breweries in the area, there wasn't much going on after 5 o'clock. People would leave work and the South End would kind of die. And in the last 4 or 5 years, we've seen Citizen Cider come in and Zero Gravity and South End Kitchen when they were here and give people food and a reason to walk around the neighborhood and just to stay in the South End after they get out of work.
In the South End, Arts Riot opened their doors to the community, establishing an ongoing relationship.
It started off just, these ideas and trying to fill it with community programming and concerts was the idea behind it. But that involves a lot of partnerships and a lot of community connections, and those are generally made over time. So I think as the business began and as PJ and Felix went out into the community introducing themselves and their ideas, people were really excited about what this business was and started to want to be a part of it. They started to ask about running programs here like slam poetry, do things like cinema casualties. We have a monthly 80s horror film night here. So the community had an interest and was looking for a place like this, that you could rent a space, hold your event and invite all your friends, and really a space for everyone.
In the last 10 years, Arts Riot helped launch an evolution on Pine Street, a mix between an artist hub and traditional business. With new thriving businesses, the South End has become the place to be. In 2015, City Market announced plans to break ground for their second store. That's a big move. City Market has been a popular health food co-op in downtown Burlington since 2002. Even the most loyal shoppers would say the main store on North Winooski Avenue is crowded. Allison Weinhagen is City Market's Director of Community Engagement.
We have been planning for expansion for years, and part of the reason you'll notice is that we're running out of space here. So we're doing $40 million in a store that really was meant for about a third of those sales.
City Market is making money and could make a lot more. The challenge was to find the right location. After negotiations with Burlington's zoning department, City Market found its second home on Flynn Avenue.
We had a purchase and sale agreement on the property that currently belongs to Vermont Rail System on the corner of Briggs Street and Flynn Avenue, where we were going to build our second location. And so since that time, we've hired architects. We have a team of consultants. We have been working with cooperative consultants who build new cooperatives all around the United States. We were meeting weekly with those groups, and now we're meeting every couple of weeks with subcommittees.
The new City Market will have over 30,000 square feet of space. The plan is a go, but questions remain. Traffic in the South End is congested. Crossing the street in some places is difficult, even dangerous. But City Market is counting on the construction of the Champlain Parkway, a long-held but never realized plan to improve traffic flow in the South End.
So as part of our work, we were required to have a traffic study done. So we had professionals come in and do a traffic study that included traffic from the South End Co-op, either with or without the Champlain Parkway. All signs point to the fact that it's going to be built, but who really knows until they get started on that project.
With growth, the South End is getting attention. New venues on Pine Street and nearby are sculpting the South End, shaping it into a place that's attracting art, business, and community.